Good morning, Flosstube. Welcome to Justsewsherrie. I'm Sherrie and I'm Justsewsherrie over on Instagram as well. Welcome back. It's been a minute. It's been 3 whole weeks and I have got a lot to show you. I have got fully finishes, 2 fully finishes. I have got 1, 2, 3 finishes and 1 partially kind of fully finished. It's kind of on its way. I have got 2 new starts, which isn't bad considering I was only meant to have 1. So I'm calling that a win. And I've got an oldie. And I've got my usual whips. I forgot about that. You know, it's kind of why we come here, isn't it? And I've got an old Justsewsherrie. So this week's Justsewsherrie, it's something that I was reminded of. I was talking to our new Flosstuber on the block, our new Geordie girl, cross stitch mad Sarah. I was talking to her a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week, I don't know, sometime. And we were talking about how I know everything about reindeers now, and she knows everything about hedgehogs. Hedgehogs? Yes. If you want to know about hedgehogs, ask Sarah, because she's been doing her daughter's homework and that's what it was about. So it was quite funny, and I was telling her about the pigeon. Now, this happened a couple of months ago, and I nearly used it as a Justsewsherrie when it happened, but I think there was something much more exciting going on, like checking in the vets inadvertently or something like that. So I never told you the pigeon story. It's a good one. Bearing in mind, right, I sit in my own house, I barely go anywhere apart from stitching retreats. I mind my own business. I'm nae bother to anyone. And this stuff just falls at me feet, right? This Justsewsherrie stuff falls at me feet. Hence, just you, Sherrie. Just you. It can happen too. So, Saturday afternoon, sitting stitching, bit of a grey day outside. Normal life. Knock at me door. I opens the door and there's a little girl standing there. She must have been about 9, I think, and she lives about 3 doors down the road. Lily, she's called. And she's a canny kid. Canny, by the way, means nice or lovely. So she's a canny bairn. Bairn means child, so she's a canny kid. She's alright. She's nice enough bairn. Knocks at me door. Auntie Sherrie, because they all call me Auntie round here. It's quite old-fashioned where I live still. It's very much open door policy, so people just walk in and out of each other's houses. I mean, we all know each other. You wouldn't just walk into a stranger's house. And all the kids just know me. I'm just Auntie Sherrie. So, Auntie Sherrie, can I borrow a cat? Why would you like to borrow a cat, Lily? Well, I sort this pigeon out. And she sat there stood there like a little old lady. Well, I sort this pigeon out. I says, what do you mean sort a pigeon out? Well, it needs to be sorting. Lily, what pigeon? Well, that one over there. So I looks over and there's a park in front of my house with some grass around it, and there was her little friend, Harley. I sees them chucking this pigeon in the air, and this pigeon kind of going up and coming kind of straight back down, and I was like, what's wrong with it? And she went, well, it's nearly dead and it needs finishing off. I was like, no, you're not borrowing a cat. Give us a minute. I had to put my coat on because, like I say, it was grey, it was drizzling, it was mangy outside. So I said, give us a minute. So I put my coat on and I goes outside, and this poor pigeon must have broke its wing or something. I mean, I'm not a vet, and I'm familiar with the vets, unfortunately, too familiar. But that is something I claim no. I have no claim to, is to knowing anything about medical stuff about pigeons. So I goes over. I says, "Oh, stop throwing it about. What are you doing?" And again, it's quite nice around here. Like if the kids are doing something wrong, whichever adult sees them can tell them. You know, obviously we don't go around belting them or anything. Well, I never smack my own kids. So I'm not going to smack someone else's. But you know, if they're doing something wrong, we can tell them. So, Holly, put the pigeon down. What are you doing with it? You shouldn't do that. And of course, I opens my mouth and I hears my mother coming out now. All these animals is God's creatures. Why are you killing God's creatures? There's no need. So I picks up this pigeon and I'm coming back to my house with said pigeon in my hands. And Lily goes flying at my house. And, well, Lily, get out my bloody house with your wet shoes on. And I comes back in. She's got a hold of Charlie, the cat. That's not my cat. She's got a hold of Charlie, desperately trying to pull our shoes off at the same time. I haven't got them on. Hey, Sherrie, I haven't got them on. Get your bloody shoes off and get out my house. In fact, get them on and get out my house. It was an afternoon. As it happened, I had some wicker baskets out in the back garden. So I put this poor little pigeon in. I don't know what's wrong with the pigeon. So it goes out on Facebook. Any pigeon fanciers around. I've got a pigeon that's not very well. I've got 3 cats. Not sure what to do with this pigeon. So anyway, the pigeon died. So it appears I'm running palliative care from the back garden for pigeons. I'm telling you, you couldn't make this stuff up. You could not make it up. So that was the pigeon. So I know lots about reindeers now, but I still have no medical knowledge around pigeons other than it had a calm death rather than being stressed to hell over the kids. So that's that. That's Justsewsherrie this week, although it was from a couple of months ago. But thanks, Sarah, for reminding me. And definitely go and check her out. She's another Geordie and she's a good lass. She is, she's good. She does loads of different stuff to me. She does a lot of full coverages and stuff that frightens the light out of us. That and all. So let's move on to my cross stitch. I like me little drum rolls, don't I? I've noticed when I watch them back sometimes. I like a little drum roll. And this one should have a drum roll. I did this 30 years ago. My daughter is coming up to 32. And I stitched this while I was pregnant. So a long time ago. And I did it for my parents. And this is my fully finished from a long time ago. So we had Springer Spaniels in the family, and my parents had one, Candy. So it looks like this is done on, I would suspect, 14 or 16 count Ada. Now, I know I always said I was a kit girl, which I think most of us were until we discovered the community. But this actually wasn't a kit. I saw it in a book. There was a little like haberdashery shop when I was a student nurse along the road, and I used to go in and I saw this book with this patterning, and I thought, oh, it'd be really nice for me mum and dad. But I had to buy all the threads separately, so it took me a while, because obviously when you're a student you've got no money. So it took me a while. It took me probably about 18 months to buy everything and to stitch it, and then a little while longer to be able to frame it. And you can see it's framed in. Now I don't know whether it's matte glass or museum glass. I didn't know anything about that sort of glass stuff until I started listening to Flosstube. All I know is that it was properly framed. I got it properly framed by a framer. It's got stretched and what have you. And they put the matte glass in it. So I did say to my mum the other week, because you know how we say, you know, people don't appreciate it. Well, my parents are the exception to the rule, because they've had it up for 30 years in the living room. They haven't got a picture of me. They've got me cross stitch, which is quite funny actually. I don't exist in my parents' living room, which I always laugh about. But they've got me cross stitch, and I said to my mum, can I borrow it? I'd like to show it on Flosstube. And she said, well, yes, but I need it back. All right, mum. So she definitely appreciates it. So it might have took a long time to do, but worth every stitch. That's my oldie. It's an oldie but a goodie. Right, I don't know where I'm going to put it. I have got a lot of stuff. Okay, let's move on to fully finishes. I'm going to show this one, right? You've seen it before, and it's not fully finished, just a finish. And I have shown it before, but I'm going to show it again because it's a FBI. It's an FBI. Finally been ironed. So this is January. That has finally been ironed. It's got one of my hairs over it. One of these days it will be an FFO, but for now it's an FBI. So that is From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy, and that was January Quaker. The next one is March. So I finished March. As you can see, we are in March. The date today is, which I didn't say, Saturday the 23rd of March. It's 7:45 in the morning. I woke up late this morning actually. I wanted to get up really early. I didn't wake up till about 5:45, so never mind. So again, From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy. So this is the third of my 24 and 24. And my 24 and 24, the theory is that there are 24 starts and finishes in 2024. So I've tried to pick ones that I think I can manage. Because as we saw in the last Flosstube, there's an awful lot of new starts along the way as well that haven't been accounted for. And I did put this on Flosstube, Instagram. And this is Nessie Mitchell by Mama Loves You GB. So this was done on Pictureless Plus 16 count tie, TYE it's called. Now it's meant to have Nessie Mitchell name underneath the vowels on top of the bottom border. I didn't do it because it's meant to be 1/1. Obviously I've done this on Ada, so that makes it more difficult. Otherwise I possibly would have put it in. I was thinking about changing it to my name. I had some thoughts floating around my head, but then when I looked at the pattern and realised it was 1/1, I thought I'm just going to leave it. So then what I have done, and I don't know if you can tell very well, but can you see the S, the A and the D? So my initials I've done in a different colour. I can't remember. Oh, the colour's here. You can't see very well on there, but the colour is... I've got my glasses, got my proper glasses. 3041. So that is the colour. So I ended up just putting my initials on in a different colour. But I'm really, really pleased how it turned out. Now I used 53, DNC 53. And it is one of the variegated ones. And I then blended it. So what I did was I cut a length and I then did a loop start deliberately so that it was blended. And it's worked out really well. It looks... in parts, it looks like denim. When I was doing it, I wasn't so keen, and I struggled to get it finished. And it wasn't the pattern or anything else. It was the threads I'd chosen. But now that it's done, and I look at it, I really like it, and I'm really impressed with it. And I might do it again, not necessarily 53, but it's something I would definitely consider doing again, using the variegated and then a loop start, because a loop start's a lot easier, isn't it, than anchoring it. if you're using 2 threads, of course. And the next, this is the finish. That is a partly fully finish. Lucy Beam. Disturbed Women. Evaluation Centre for Disturbed Women. And this was done on, I think I kept saying it was done on 32 count Mercury. I was lying. It was just a big fat black fib. It was 32 count Tornado by Fox and Rabbit is what I've done it on. And I have used black coffee. Do you know what it is? I've just told a lie. I've said that was for the Nessie Mitchell. It wasn't. It was for this. So I was busy de-kitting it. So I'm lying. But the letters on Nessie Mitchell are in this colour. Just a slightly different shade. Yeah. This is Sherrie's world. Anything can happen in Sherrie's world. Where's the pigeon? Isn't there a cartoon like that? Catch the pigeon, catch the pigeon. What was the cartoon? Was it Muxley and Dastardly or something like that? We only had, for you girls in America, we only had 4 channels growing up. Television channels, so we all watched the same stuff. So everyone in the UK will probably know what I'm talking about. So that is that. I am finishing it on foam core board. Now, I ordered some foam core board. I've never finished with it before. I've never even heard of it. When it's come, it's just polystyrene. Is that right? Is foam core board just polystyrene? So anyway, I'm doing it on that, and I have got 2 fabrics out. So I'm going to use either, I was thinking about using the flower. I'm just going to flat fold it and put a covered piece behind, a covered piece of mounted board probably behind, and it's going to go on me craft room door, which is very appropriate because there is lots of disturbed women nonsense happen in this craft room, and I want to tell you about the disturbed women. So I've got the list out. So in the pattern, it shows you the list of the things that you may have been admitted to this disturbed women's ward for. That's the other thing, I did leave the ward out at the bottom. It's got ward B on the original pattern, but I decided to leave that out. I nearly put ward 1 because I worked on the ward 1 and 2 different ward 1s almost the majority of my nursing career. So I nearly put ward 1 on, but I didn't. I just left it. So you could have been admitted, this was from 1864 to 1889. You could have been admitted to the Women's Disturbed Ward for having cold, desertion by husband. So if your husband leaves you, you could have been admitted. Disappointment. I'm pretty sure most of us would have been admitted to a ward at some point in our lives through disappointment. Immoral life. Would have. I'm not now. I'm not. Can't be. I'm too old. I'm too old to be immoral. Menstrual deranged. I'm pretty sure that's PMT. I think a lot of us would have been admitted through that. Moral sanity kind of goes with the immoral life. Seduction and disappointment. Now I laughed at this because I took this to mean I seduced them and I'm very disappointed by them. That is pretty much the story of my life, hence why I'm single. I've had enough of being disappointed. I don't want to be on the Disturbed Women's ward for being disappointed anymore. The last one that I marked out was time of life. If I hadn't been admitted before, I would be now, because I am very much in the time of life, as they call it, or they used to call it. But there's an awful lot more, and to be fair, it's you know, I'm joking about it, but it wasn't fun back then, that women really could be admitted for lots of different reasons. I read a book called The Lost Bookshop. It was The Lost Bookshop. I'm not sure if it was one that Pam recommended from Pam and Steph. I could be wrong, but I ended up reading this, and it's got a little bit of that in there, and it was really interesting that women could have been basically signed into a mental institution by a male relative or a male partner, and it would be taken as gospel that they had committed whatever it was that the man had said, and they wouldn't be allowed to be discharged until the man agreed. So thank God we're not in those times, eh? That's that. 2 fully finishes. This is a bit of a, it's not cheat, it is a funny finish. So I showed you this the last time, and this was, I think it's called Ice Crystal. It's a Mill Hill, and I fully finished it because I hadn't done it the last time. So all I literally did was cut around it, stenciled around it, cut it out. It's just some Christmas paper out of a Christmas pack of paper that I had, and glued it, and that's that, fully finished. And I lied last time again. I said I've got it on me, I'll show you. I've got it on me little chest of drawers that sits on me, oh God, sits on me windowsill. Am I back? I'm back. Because I quite liked it there. That's not true. I stuck it there because I didn't know what to do with it, and I'm lazy, and I just stuck it up there and thinking, oh, that'll do. So yeah, it'll be there until next winter now, no doubt. And the last one is a biggie. It's a biggie for me because I had finished it and I showed you it. Barbara's Birds. This is what we got from Stitch in London and the sampler edition. And Michelle showed us she went through a workshop and showed us how to make these pin cushions. And we got all the materials to make them. And we also got pins and all the materials to make some counting pins. So I gathered up the materials and I brought it home. I think I was telling you I wanted to make friends with my craft room again. And I did, actually. It worked quite well. Now I'll show you on there that little, this is the little peacock that a very kind lady came around all the tables and gave every one of us one, just to hang. I don't think she wasn't anything to do with Stitch in London. She was just an attendee. So that was really kind of her. And we also got the 2024 in the box of goodies from Michelle and Marie. I am chuffed to blithering bits with myself, hand on heart. I really, really, really am. It might be simple, but you know what? I did it. I was quite surprised I remembered. Now, it is a little bit, I thought it was 32 count. I've done this on, but I've got a feeling it was 28 and it should have been 32, which is why it doesn't quite fit in, but that's all right. I'm all right with that. I am chuffed to bloody bits with myself. Well done, Sherrie. Thank you, Sherrie. Okay, new starts. This was the new start that I definitely wasn't going to have until it arrived. And then I was like, nah, I need to start it. Now, I saw this from when I was in Wales. One of the ladies got it and I fell in love. So it is by Textile Heritage. So it's a thistle needle case. And I started it. So it came as a kit. You got all the threads. And I think it's 14 count Ada. And I started it. And you were meant to do it with 3 strands. I hated it. I absolutely hated stitching with 3 strands. And then I realised not only that, I'd done it the wrong way around. So it's meant to fold so that that is the back and that is the front. So you're meant to open it. I mean, the way a normal book would open would be that way. But I had done it upside down. Or had I? Maybe I hadn't. Anyway. Oh, that's right. I had, because this is now sort of upside down the way I'd stitched it. I got sick and I thought, you know what, I'm not. I hate every second of it. I'm starting again. So I restarted it. And I restarted it on a 32 count even weave. And I think it's called Wisteria. And it is one of my fabric of the months that I got from Lakeside Needlecraft. This is a needle minder that I got off Edita from the Floss Friends and my friend Leanne, who's actually, happy birthday it is today, I've just remembered, happy birthday Leanne. So me and Leanne have got the opposing, so she's got the dark heart where mine's light, we've got the opposites, so it's really cool. So I've started it again, and that's as far as I got a start. And now I've kind of, haven't given up on it, but I've kind of haven't got excited to be able to do it again. So that is that. There is a lot of stuff here. I need to try and keep it in some sort of semblance. And that's right, because I had a big birthday. And I had a very big new start. So my big birthday felt very big, and I'll tell you about it. But I did get my new start, and for my 50th birthday I chose Forget Me Not by Modern Folk Embroidery. I have told my daughter it's a legacy piece and she's not allowed to ever throw it away. I won't tell you what her answer was. And she did say, how big's it going to be? Quite big. Quite big cotton. So I am doing this on, I'm sure it's a week's. It is a week's, but I can't find the tag. So anyway, I have started. So that is the start I got. And considering I was quite busy on my birthday, I'm quite impressed with myself. And that little needle minder I got from Stitch in London alongside like a ring bling thing. I bought them both, so they're both, and I will get a proper this will go into a fabric project bag when I get one that is appropriate. So that is my Forget Me Not big birthday, big start, and it is on, it's a week's, and I'd like to know where the, I don't know why I'm thinking Weeks Havana. I know that's a thread, but I've got a feeling it's a, don't know, I need to check that, and I don't know where it's gone because I need to know what it is. So you know the book of days and the cross stitch planner that I've got, maybe I should start and use them a little bit more for what they were intended, as in write things down before I start, because things go missing. Okay, that is my new starts, my finishes, my fully finishes, and my very old finish. I'm going to move everything and then we'll move on to whips. Give me a moment. Okay, 1 moment has passed and I have rejigged, so I've got space on this side to put my stuff and my stuff on that side that will move, and after that I have got Stitch in London, the review that I didn't do. And I have got a very exciting, very, very exciting reenactment of When Sherrie Met Michelle. Stay tuned for that. I loved it. I loved every second of it. I'm not sure Michelle thought the same. So yeah, I'm fire for that one. I have also got my usual gifts to me from me, but I had a big birthday, didn't I? So I have got some gifts from other people as well, which was lovely. And I have got one of the biggest gifts that us girls in the UK could have gotten. So stay tuned for that as well. Okay, on to whips. Haven't got them in any order, they're just how they come out. So this one is the blue flower. Spring. This is one of my 24 and 24. So that is spring. And I have done some more on this. This is on a 32 count. Oh, nearly lost my needle. That's why I got platinum. And I have done a little bit more. So I had the bare bones in the last time, basically a little bit more of the heart and the border and some of the green vines. I have started now adding the substance. I have run out of 535, which is the heart. And I kind of need it to plot in the vines and everything else. So I'm at a bit of an impasse until I can get that. And I'm annoyed with myself because I went to Hobbycraft last week or recently to get some threads that I needed because I'd run out of some DMC threads that I wanted for something else, God knows what. And I meant to get it and I didn't, so I'm annoyed with myself. So I need to go and get that. And I don't want to just order it. I know it's more expensive from Hobbycraft than it is getting it online. But I don't want to just order one thread. So I've gone on to Peakside. Now I personally think, and this is my own opinion, I am not affiliated with anybody or anything, because I think anybody would be terrified to be affiliated with me. I would be. I know it's more expensive at Hobbycraft, was what I was going to say. Peakside is the quickest for shipping, I have found in my experience in the UK. Whatever I've ordered. Whatever I've ordered, if you get it in before 1 o'clock, I get it the next day. And there's been times where it hasn't even been 24 hours and I've got it in my hand. They are super, super, super quick at ordering. So if I need some threads, they're the ones I tend to gravitate to because I get them very, very, very quickly. Next one I've done some more on is my Stitch in London. This was the retreat kit that we got. Maud Mary Dodderel. And the plan is to do at least the Dodd in a different colour because that's my surname. And I was talking to, I'm sure it was Rachel, Talking Dog. No, it wasn't. It was Soph. I'll link them below. And she did, you should go over and check out her last Flosstube. She did a piece honouring her nana who died recently, and it is, I've told her in future she needs to do an emotional trigger warning. I'm in the menopause. I was in buckets of tears, honestly. You should go over and have a look at what she's done. Oh, and it's lovely, really, really, really lovely. So anyway, I was talking to her about maybe doing something because my gran would have been so proud of my needlework. She really would have, you know. She was proud of us grandchildren anyway, but you know, she's 70, she would have been 100 now. So ladies from that era always held needlework in very high stead. So yeah, so I was thinking about doing a piece to honour her, and I was thinking, should I do her name here instead? Well, it's down here actually on the pattern, and her date of birth. So that's winging its little way around my head. But we got this from Stitch in London. We got all of the threads, all the fancy floss. And we got, I've taken it out, corn silk, Weeks corn silk. I have substituted that for Classic Colourworks Ye Old Gold. It is done on 36 count summer khaki, is what I got. And this is as far as I am with it. So I'd just done the first sort of few letters. So I'm now down to the third line. And the corn silk was meant to be the border. I think if I'd put up with it, I think it would have come out lovely. And I did see that they had the finished piece there with the corn silk. And I looked at it and still thought, no, I want to change it. And I'm quite pleased how the gold's coming out, but it's very definitely there. And I think the reason they've done the border in corn silk is that it's not in your face, that, you know, your eye is drawn to the letters. I think that's why. And I was thinking, you know, who am I to flip and change what Michelle's done? And then I thought, well, it's not really what Michelle's done, it's Maud that's decided her colours. And you can see on the piece, the border colours are very, very light. So if Michelle had designed it, I would have done it exactly, because Michelle's amazing. Yeah, I wonder if I'll ever get to the point where she just becomes like Michelle, rather than Michelle my hero. I wonder if that'll ever happen. What do you think? Poor Michelle. What did she ever do to deserve this? So I'm going to leave that one to last, because that one's an exciting one. I have done a little bit more on this, and this is one of my favourite. Oh. Again, this isn't one of my 24 and 24, so of course I love it, and that's all I want to stitch on. And I find this is Modern Folk Embroidery, and it is the Rosebush sampler. And I do not know why it's got my heart, but it really, really, really has. The colours, and they're just so gentle, so gentle, absolutely gorgeous. Really, really gentle colour palette. I am doing this on Weeks Dye Works parchment. Do you know, I wonder why I didn't have a needle minder on it. I have got a needle minder on it. It's just stuck somewhere. Right. I was stitching on it last night and I couldn't find the needle minder. So this is as far as I am. So I had done this corner and a little bit along the top. So I've done a lot more. I've finished the top and I've come down the bottom, and I'm now working my way with the obligatory working thread, working my way down, because it's a big, it's a fat half I think I got. Yeah, fat half. So I want to get the bones of the border in so that I can cut it down basically. I love that. I just love this. That rose, man. Just beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Oh. Love the fabric. Do you know what I'm saying about how amazing the designers are, and they know their stuff, and they do. But Jacob frustrates the life out of me because he doesn't tell you what to do. He just says, make it your own. I'm like, Jacob, that's not good for me. I need to be told what to do. I need directions in life. When I freestyle, it's not necessarily going to end well. But he does give you the colours in here, thank God, because obviously it's not a monochrome piece, but in nearly all of his patterns, especially the monochrome ones, he says, oh, do what you want. Oh, Jacob, just tell us what I need to do, please. I mean, how? He's a proper stitcher, and we've had this conversation, haven't we? Okay, next one. And this is number 4 of my 24 in 24. And this is April from the Heart, Needle Art by Wendy. And each, you know, I say out to put me bloody prayers. I really do. I've changed the colours. Tell me what to do and I'll do it. Apart from when I don't. It's not good, is it? I mean, it's great when other people make a liar of you, but it's got to be even worse when you do it yourself. So this is as far as I am. This bloody thing here was being very, very badly behaved. I'd done this flower, or whatever it is, here. So I'd counted this off the flower, which was over here, which meant, and it is at the very, like it, upside down. It forms like the border. So I had it way in here, so it had to be frogged yesterday, and I was very, very annoyed with it. So that's as far as I am. Now I have changed the colours, as I just said. I have changed so 352 is the, sorry, it takes a while for my brain to figure out what the hell I'm doing. So this colour, this coral, I toned it down a little bit. It was meant to be 352 and I've chosen 3824, which is literally just a shade lighter. It's not quite as dark. The other one I changed was the green. So I've stayed with the original for the teal green, which I really, really liked. And this was the part I'd started over here in this corner. And I really, really like this colour. Now, the green they'd chosen to offset the lighter green. So I think this is like a teal, which is more along the blue-green spectrum. And the lighter colour they'd chosen was more like a pale leaf green. So it was more along the yellow, the green-yellow spectrum. So I didn't like it. So I changed it to 3817, and yes, I've had to pull it out. So this is the original, which is what's called for, the darker. Yeah, 502. No, I haven't, I'm lying. Yes, 502. And I kept looking at 503 because obviously it's just a shade lighter, but I ended up going with 3817 instead. So yeah, because it just, for me, it wasn't offsetting it at the right colour. Yeah. So it wasn't like going along the same colour band spectrum. I don't know what the word is for that. You know what I mean. I haven't got my microphone on today, so I can be a little bit more noisy. And the reason I haven't got my microphone on is because this shenanigans here, computer thing, was running out of charge, so it's plugged in, and because it's a flipping Apple doodah thing, it's got a, I've only got one cable. That, shut up, Sherrie. Now, mini finish and a mini new start. And if you've followed me for a little while, you'll be very, very familiar with this. It's my patchwork calendar by Owl Forest Embroidery. And I was, well, had I finished it? I can't remember. Maybe I had finished it. Can't remember. Anyway, I'm showing you it again, because I have done some more work on it. So I finished this one, which is June. That's right, because no, I hadn't finished it because I was talking about where I wanted to go next, and I decided to come straight down here and do July. And I'm loving this. I love this colour. So far it is looking like that. You can't see the blue very well on here. You can in the real world. But I love this blue that I'm doing now. I don't think I'll have to... This one won't be a slog to get done. I'll get this done in a couple of jiffies. Love it. Still love it. I thought I might have lost my... Oh, my little teardrop needle minder is from Jess Gets Stitching. And she's lovely. She's a lovely, lovely girl. And I love her little... They're like polymer clay. I think that's what they're called. Happy to be corrected. I don't think Jess watches me, but happy to be corrected if they're not. And all the called for threads, which I have shown before, for Owl Forest. Winter Rose Manor. This is me plodding one. So that is what it will look like, allegedly, when it's done. That's the theory. And I have done a little bit more on this. Have I done more? I'm not so sure I have done more. Now I know I have, because I've done a couple of more trees along here, because I'm trying to get to the conch, whatever you call it, the colour of the house. I'm trying to get the house started so that I can plod on with that. So that's as far as I got. I've got a feeling I haven't actually done that much more than last time. But I know I've touched it, because it was a couple of days ago I picked it up. And no, I've got me, I don't know how anybody else organises their current whips, etc. Active whips, I call them. I've got me DMC chest of thingies down in my living room, of threads, and they go on. So if it's facing me this way, the ones that I want to do are stacked between this side and the wall, and the ones that I've touched then move over to the other side, so I can take them out of that side and I'll put them in that one if I've touched them. So if I've touched it, it moves. So I definitely have. Be interesting to know how everybody else organises what they're working on. I did have a theory. So in here, I will do me craft room tour at some point. I changed it from, I've got some in this cupboard, this one here. Thanks, Abel. Yeah, thumbs up. This cupboard has got whips that I'm not working on, and then I moved the ones I was working on to this cupboard. But I found because I stitched downstairs, it just wasn't working for me. I need to be able to see what I've got. So that's why I moved my active whips and the whips I want. So the whips I want to work on go on this side, and the whips I have worked on then get moved over to that side. So that's how I've done it. But it would be interesting to know how other people organise their whips. Okay, this little house. I found the pattern. So this has been a long time in the doing. I started this in February 2023. It's not a big pattern, although it's more stitching than you realise. But I have made a bit of a meal of it. Now, I'm nearly done, but I am running out of putty. I need some more putty. So I need to get on the peak side, get me ash grey for me, what do you call it? Spring. Blue flower, spring. And I need putty for this. So it is nearly done. Look at the bloody state I've made of this fabric. It is nearly done. I got this needle minder from Botanical Crafts on Etsy. A little paw needle minder. So I'm pretty much done. I've got a few little browns to put in the bottom of the house. I've got her feet to do, and I've just got to fill in the grass. And I've got a few little bits. Don't let me forget. Or if I present it and say it's finished, keep an eye on this for us. And that one, I think. No, that one's done. That one isn't done. Oh, it looks like that's the only one. Make sure I do it, guys. So that is that. So I would like to have this finished soon. I did go on a bit of a need to get things finished. So the other one I pulled out was an oldie that I haven't touched for a little while, which was Jardin Privé's Cat Lovers. And I have done a little bit more in that. So I have come down here and I have done this motif down here. So I'm starting to work along the bottom, getting that finished. I've got some of the random little, what you call it, these little motifs in the middle to do. And then the cats. And when I show you my gifts that I actually got off people, we'll come back to this, because one of them, Shelly, who brought me presents round, I spotted straight away. I was like, I know what this thread is going to be used for. And I'll show you when I get there. And I have done a little bit more on my mindless stitch. So it's my retreat stitch for this year. I had a stitchy Zoom with some girls. I couldn't concentrate, so I brought out my Ever Nora, because it's mainly just, there's a lot of Karen water lilies, these bits, these grey bits. And this is all obviously a lot more complicated because there's beads and one thing and another. But the basis of the piece is just 310. So I've just done a couple of more lines basically, but I have touched it. And this needle minder is from, I've got a feeling this is Jess Gets Stitching as well. Sorry if I'm wrong, but I think it's from her. When I was at the Royal Retreat last year, I think nearly all of us on the table, quite unbeknown to others, we nearly all bought one of these, I think they're called planchets, aren't they? So very appropriate. And the fabric is I don't think I've said the fabric as I've been going along. If anyone wants to know, let me know. Sorry, that wasn't very professional of me. I know. And I was trying to be more professional. I thought I was getting better. Maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm still just a very, very early amateur when it comes to this Flosstube. So this is fruit salad. Is it 18 count? Or a tight 16 count following the die? I don't know. It's definitely it's not a 14 or a normal 16. It looks like an 18 to me. Fruit salad by Stitchy Feret. Yeah, Sherrie, tell you where you got it from. And my last one, which is still a whip, but not for very much longer. Very excited about this one. And I think there's quite a lot of you who are enjoying how this is coming out, and hopefully you will be tempted into doing it yourselves. My modern folk, my two Quaker sisters. So this was my New Year's start. Started one of them on New Year's Day, and one of them, the sister piece, I started on the 2nd of February. Of course it's got a working thread on, because it wouldn't be me if it didn't. It is nearly finished, the first one. So I was down to here. So I've put in all the snowflake. I call it snowflake. And these Quaker motifs at the bottom. And I am nearly done with the 1/1. Whoso findeth me, findeth love. And this came from, was it biblical? I think Jacob said. And the original piece says, whoever findeth me findeth life. So I think that was the religious aspect, as in me findeth life, as in God. So he changed it to findeth love. And I've stayed with the love. But I mean, equally, if you are religious, there's nothing stopping you reverting back and putting an I in F to change love to life. 32 count antique white is what I got. And the sister piece that I started on the 2nd isn't that far away either. So I was up to around here-ish, I think. I think I'd started this motif. So I've done all of this, I've finished all of this, I've done the little birdie, and I have nearly completed the bottom. Sorry, itchy nose. So, and I've got the 1/1 phrase to put in. For I am thine and thou art mine. So I'm doing this on I think it's a grey, it's a bit of a mystery linen because I got it just from a bin in Harrogate. Not like an actual rubbish bin. So it's 32 count, and I'm doing it with tin white and the blue. I've said many times, but I'll say again, 3768. So that will be the two of them together. Now, the last time I wanted to pull them together by using the same colour as for the words to draw them into being that these pieces are complementary pieces, very definitely complementary pieces. And what I did was, I have got a massive thank you to Rachel, who is Talking Dog Stitcher here on YouTube. She gave us a the website, and I will find it. I'll link it below, but I will just, because I know I've got it on here on saved. I'm totally lying, I haven't. I don't know what I've done with it. So it was a website where you put your colours in, and it'll give you contrasting colours, complementary colours, nearest colours. It will give you colours you can substitute with, all of that sort of stuff. So what I did was I put the 3768 in to see what complementary colours I could come up with. And then I did the same with Tin White, which is what I'm doing this in, which is 01. And I then cross-referenced. So I got about 5 that were the same on both. So I got them out of me DMC chest so I could just see the full skeins. And then I decided what I liked, and I decided to go with $3042. There was another one, and it was a bit of a grey blue that I liked, but I didn't think it was contrasting enough with this one, so I went for the sort of prim lilac. So that was what happened. Watch the space. I suspect, I would like to think, it will be finished for the next time, and it might even be FBI'd. Find me being ironed. You never know. You never know. A girl can live in hope. Okie doke. That is my whips. So on to Stitch in London and gifts that were bought for me from me, and lots of other gifts that were given to me as gifts from other people. So 2 ticks. Okay, Stitch in London. When Sherrie met Michelle. If you missed my first Flosstube, basically Michelle, Mama Loves You, JB, is totally my hero. And she was at one of the retreats I was at last year, and I just couldn't cope. I couldn't speak to her. I just couldn't cope. And she was coming around the tables and saying hello to everybody, and I ran away. I couldn't. Pretty sure I was going to just throw myself at her feet and worship her. So I left before she could come to our table. And I was standing outside and I was looking in and saying, has she been? Can I go back in yet? So anyway, I couldn't even tell you lot I was going to Stitch in London, the sampler edition, because I was so nervous. So, I mean, it's kind of a bit of a joke now, but genuinely nerve-wracking, because I really do think she's fab, and when I grow up, I just want to be Michelle. And I should have said that to my careers teacher, and you know, might have all been a bit different in my life. So I was going to have to meet her because she was running it. So I thought, what do I need? I need help. That's what I need. I need help. And again, back to my first Flosstube, I remembered I had some big girls' pants that I could put on, some big girls' knickers. And I thought, big girls' knickers are definitely needed. So I could see her. I was having my breakfast and she came down and I could see her. And she left. And I thought, champion, she's fine. And then she came back and actually get her breakfast. and she was going to have to walk past me, so I literally put my head down and I was like eating like this thing. Just keep walking, Michelle, just keep walking, just keep walking, and she did. She walked past and I thought, oh, phew. And then this boo in my ear, and I mean, I nearly died. I was, oh my God, I was trying to not let you see us. And she went, I know. But I can see it. So anyway, that was fine. So I kind of met her over me scrambled eggs, which she talked about on her Flosstube. And then I had to show her later what I needed to do. So I have done a full reenactment of the clothes I was wearing. I hasten to say I was wearing leggings. I am wearing leggings and my very long top, which is perfect if you're going out for food, because then you're not going to have any buttons popping anywhere. So this is me going out for food top as well, which is always very nice. Now, on my last Flosstube, we talked about WonderWoman, didn't we? Linda Carter. Well, Linda Carter, eat your heart out, because there's a new WonderWoman in town. Yes, I had these on, and yes, I did that with Michelle. I said to her, look what I've had to do to meet you. And I mooned at Michelle. I did have leggings on. I have got leggings on. These are brand new pants. They haven't actually been worn. Big girls pants. Linda Carter. Move over. Move over. There's a new WonderWoman in town. So that was poor Michelle. She just sort of was like, oh my God. She just laughed and I was like, oh. So that was that. When we got to our table seats, when we walked in, we were given lanyards, and we'd written on what we wanted on the lanyards, which I thought was a really good idea for a retreat, because you start and chat, you get names on your own table eventually, if you don't know them already, and then you get chatting to other people, but you can't, like, you don't know the name, and sometimes it's like awkward saying, oh, what's your name? So lanyards with your name on was a brilliant idea. And then we were given another one that had little placeholders, little logs, tiny little logs, and you were given a replica of your name tag to put into your little log, so that round the table you could see, you know, what people's names were as well, which was really cool. And that was mine. Which I have kept as a memento. And when we got to our seats, there was prezzies. So we got this. This is an oat holder with the copy of the chart around it, and it's got a little needle. It hasn't got a needle. It's got a magnet in the top, so you can put your scissors on there. And you've got your oat holder and your scissors. And we were given a copy of Emma Roan. And when that is stitched on, whatever it's meant to be stitched on, I can't see, it should fit in the bottom of this. So we were given this. And it was all a little bit confusing at first because that happened. And then I realised it's meant to go over your, like the arm of your chair or settee or wherever you're sitting to stitch. Dying to use this, so now that I've shown you, I will be able to give it a go. So we got those as we got to the seat. We then got some, I was given some table gifts. I didn't take any and I felt really embarrassed, but we were given some table gifts. So I sat on a table with, it was a bit of an international table. The lady next to me, Sarah, was from Ireland. Then there was Christina from Hong Kong. Then there was Frances, who was from Cornwall, which England. Then there was Annika, who was from Hungary. And then there was Olga next to me from Angola, and then there was me who was born in Scotland. So we literally, every one of us on that table were from different countries, which was really, really cool. And it meant that we had some really interesting conversations as well. And I hadn't met any of them before. I didn't know anybody when I was going to Stitch in London. And what I would say is, if any of you haven't been to a retreat and are going to a retreat and don't know anybody, you'll love it. Honestly, I love meeting, making friends. I love it. And I love seeing friends at retreats. But equally, I enjoy meeting new people as well. And that was really interesting. Because they were all from such different places. So we got these off Annika, little button, which is cute. And these are little cards, woman cross stitch, and it's got, so it's meant to go in your finished project. So it's got the project name, fabric name and count, which is what I need to do for Forget Me Not, threads, start dates, and then it's got Annika's Instagram name, little 3 witch, no, little 13 witch. So we got these off Annika. A lady who wasn't on our table but came round with these. We got a little card with some floss drops and brand and colour on the back. We got some pins with little, and that's real thread on the top, which I've only just realised. So little pins with bobbins on and a little waxer. And that was off a lady called Julie, who I'm afraid I don't know who it was, but thank you very much, Julie. Put them back in there. And then from Sarah, who was, I'm pointing because she was sitting beside me. You know Sarah, who sat there. She was lovely, actually. I say that like everybody else wasn't. They were all very, very, very lovely. We got a piece, and it was, it was tied up in this. So a little handkerchief was tied up like this. We each had one with this as the ribbon, sort of wrapping it round. So I will use both of these as finishing things one day. And we each got a beautiful piece of ribbon, embroidered ribbon, and everyone's was different. So lovely. Really, really, really lovely. And I was going to say fresh soap. It is a fresh soap. It's, what I meant was it's like an organic type soap. Oh, it smells lovely. So we got off Sarah, who's a lovely lady who's just completed her certificate with the Royal School of Needlework. And she's kind of inspired me to go back and look again, because it is something I was looking at. Now the things that we got at Stitch in London just kept coming. And so I'm just going to show you all of the patterns that we got. So we got this, the Short But Remembered Life of Benjamin Titchener. And these were all samplers that were there. There was 60 odd samplers, antique samplers, and they were incredible. They were absolutely fantastic. We got Dear Alexander. And again, these are all by Michelle, my hero. Poor Michelle. I really feel sorry for her now. Put that one side. We got this, which was from Yasmin's Made with Love, who's a lovely, lovely lady. And she's a fantastic designer as well. We got, I can't show you all of this because it's got the thingy, but we got this off Maxim Cross Stitch. It's got the pattern underneath, so I can't show you properly. We got floss drops of Amy Mary Bunn. It just, honestly, every time we came back, there was something new sitting on the seat. And then, of course, we got, I've put it up there, and then on the Sunday, we came and there was the little box with the tartlet, the finishing material, the pins, all the stuff that you needed in there. I mean, it was just fantastic. And then there was a little sampler, because on the Sunday, Michelle had said, if you brought any of your own samplers, bring them and we'll put them out on Sunday. So they did that. So I had a little look, and one of them said, I have copies of this if you would like. And I was talking to Michelle at one of the tables, so I was chatting. And she'd said, oh, Hannah's done a pattern if you want one. And it was the same one of the one that I'd clocked to say I've got patterns if it's available. So it's a lady called Hannah Stitching. And she said, and this was free, she just gave us it. Oh, she gave me it, I should say. And I said to her, are you selling them? She says, well, I will eventually, but this is like the final draft. So I feel very privileged that I've got something that's not quite on sale yet, but I think it's fabulous. And it's because she got the sampler, so she's charted it from the original that she's got. So I assume, I haven't looked her up. Oh, she's on Instagram there. So find me, Hannah ___, whatever it is, stitching on Instagram. So Hannah _stitching. So they were the patterns we got. There may well have been more. It's been a few weeks now since I was there. So on the Saturday, I've never been to a retreat that was so organised, and that's not to criticise other retreats, it's just that this was run totally different. So there was lectures. So Michelle did a lecture in the morning about samplers and about where they came from and why they did them and all of this stuff. So they had all that. And then in the afternoon, well, she gave us a lecture, and then we got like, I mean, you can tell she's a teacher because we got things to do to try and solidify the information we've got. That doesn't make sense. I don't know what I'm trying to say. To make the information we'd been given sink in. So we each should come round during the break and put a sampler beside each table. So each table then was given the steer to try and figure out the sampler. Try and figure out who the girl was, where she's come from, you know, what she would have done. Try and figure out all the information you can from this sampler. And we were given the one that, weirdly enough, had Barbara's birds on. And we had to, as a table, figure it out. And it was really interesting because, I mean, I know nothing about samplers, nothing at all, which is another story about that. But things like, there was a load of like animals stitched on it, like a cow and a chicken or whatever it was. There was quite a few. And it was Sarah, I think, said, I think she's been, or it might have been Annika, I think she's been like a farmer's daughter because she's got these are the animals that represent her life. This is her world. So it's almost like a diary. Like these are the things that I've got in my life going on. So we thought she might have been a farmer's daughter, but we weren't sure because your average girl wouldn't have been taught needlework generally. You would have to be from a wealthier family because I thought maybe a gamekeeper's daughter, something like that. Anyway, so we were given this to do to try and you know what I'm trying to say, to get the information to sink in that Michelle had just given us. And then in the afternoon, she gave us a talk on ancestry, which was then tracing people. So you've got this sampler, you've got this person's name. How do you then go about finding this person on ancestry? So she told us about that. We were then given a thing as the table to hunt down, and it was Mary Bunn that we were given. So we came back and we had these floss drops on the table and Amy Mary Bunn. So we had to look her up, and we found out she's actually from about 5 miles from where I live. She's from, it was Ersden, which is literally just up the way. I was dying to say, because what was it, during the talk she was saying, she was talking about Mary Bunn, and she said it looks like, you know, she was from Newcastle. You know, I have to confess, I was dying to be a total child and go, that's me granny. But I didn't. So Michelle, you got away with that one. I was dying to, but no. So she's not related to me. I'm not Geordie. I'm not a real Geordie. I'm just an interloper. So yeah, so that was interesting. And then on the Sunday morning, what did we do? We did the workshop. So we had all of this, and she showed us how to make it all. And then some people made it there and then. I kept mine because I was too excited. I couldn't focus on making something. I just was there was too much going on. Way too much going on. So I brought all the stuff home and I made it at home. And I was quite amazed because it was 2-3 weeks afterwards. I was quite amazed that I actually remembered how to do it. And then in the afternoon, Michelle did a separate lesson that you could book onto if you wanted. And it was shown how to. So if you go and buy an antique sampler, how do you then go about charting it? So much like sort of Hannah's done here, she's bought this sampler and she's then gone about charting it. How would you do that? I chose not to do it because I wanted some time just to chat to people, because we didn't have that. That's what you get in normal retreats. Whereas because we had so much to do and those workshops and lectures and everything else, we didn't have that. But it was ran absolutely brilliantly. Marie and Michelle, just 10 out of 10. I cannot wait for the next one, and I learned so much. And it was the Sunday. Sure, it was the Sunday. They had a raffle as well, which was super cool. We were all given the raffle tickets. You didn't have to buy them. We were all given 5 raffle tickets each. And they had, I don't know, say 5 or 6 different prizes. And they had little cups beside each prize. I can hear a cat howling. Hang on. Sorry about that. It was Scout howling to be in, literally. I'm getting wrong now because I left him outside. I'm sorry. I know, it's been awful traumatic, hasn't it? I'm so sorry that I wasn't there to let him in instantly. Scout, how are you, man? I'm trying to do something. I'm sorry about this. So yes, we're going to ignore Scout, right? We're not going to ignore Scout. I know, I'm sorry. Yeah, this is Scout. very, very, very vocal. So they had little pots. We're going to have to talk with Scout here, I'm afraid. Had little paper cups beside each prize, and what you were told was you could put your raffle tickets in, whichever one you would like to win, and then they would pick from that. And I thought that was an excellent idea, a really, really good way to run it. And of course you could strategize, as in put all 5 in one and hope. So I did 2. I put 3 in one and 2 in another, and I didn't win. I think they pulled the wrong ticket out. Pretty sure they pulled the wrong. They don't want to see your bum. God's sake. So it was fantastic. And then, it was at the end of Saturday. Sure, it was the end of Saturday. I was walking around and I clocked a woman, and I thought, that looks like Linda Haddon. Now, Linda Haddon runs the Sampler Guild. Linda Haddon is possibly the best stitcher I know. She can wear both sides of the front, which is just incredible. I mean, a stitching. She was I met her at the Royal Retreat, and she was just flinging all these samplers around. Yeah, look at this, look at that. And just flinging them around. And I was just like, I mean, they're exquisite. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful stitching. And I went up and I went, what are you doing here? And you know, when she gave me a big hug, and it was the hug I didn't know I needed. You know, when somebody hugs you and you think, oh, I really needed that. And I did. So I've discovered that I think I would like Linda Haddon to be like me substitute mum. I would like to be Michelle, and I would like to be the offspring of Linda. Sorry, Mum, you've been usurped. I'm joking. I love me, Mum, and I wouldn't swap her for the world. Honest, Mum, I wouldn't. Promise. But yeah, so Linda was there, and then on the Saturday night, Ruthie from Crow's Feet did a talk on samplers, but it started at 7:30, and we've talked about this before. I need me bed early. I take an awful lot of medication and stuff, so I do have quite a sort of strict bedtime, purely because I take drugs. They send me to sleep. And if I take them too late, it has a hangover into the next day. So unfortunately I missed that, but apparently it was really, really good. So that was... and I met Me Sarah's friend Noreen, which was really lovely, because I heard Sarah talking about when she did her Stitch in London, I think it was October, November, when she did her review of the one she went to. She's great pals with Noreen, and I met her, and that was really lovely. And of course I met a lady called Sarah, the one who convinced me to do the 56 count. Yeah, that comes into me forward plans. So we will talk about that. So let's look at what I got while I was there, because I didn't just get freebies. I did kind of have to buy some stuff. I mean, it's obligatory, isn't it? I think it's obligatory. So I got Blackbird, Linda R. Cohagen. That would go really well on that. You know, that fabric that I can't remember what it's called, that I'm doing for me Jacob piece. I got A Heart Remembers. I love this one in the back. That would be a really lovely small for an exchange. And you wouldn't even need to do sort of all of this if you didn't want to. You know, just the fruit bowl. Is it a fruit bowl? I think that's a fruit bowl. And then I got the Royal Retreat, not the Royal Retreat, the summer holiday retreat I was at last year when I avoided Michelle like the plague. She'd brought some of her own patterns with her and I wanted to buy them, but I was too frightened to. So this time I did buy them. I got Panic Button Collection, which I really wanted last year when she released it. And I got Be Not a Dunce. And she had the original there of this, and it's fabulous. So got that. And it turns out, I mean, bear in mind, I'm not a Morton sampler girl. Yeah. But I had this fancy to do this one. Mary. No, it's got nothing to do with Mary. Burnhope. A. Burnhope. 1895. I'm really looking forward to this because I'm really enjoying the retreat kit that we got. What was that called? Mary Dodderel. I also got Lisa from Italia Friends was there, and she had some just like random frames with her as well. Oh God. So I got this one. So these were from like I think this was like a £5 bin, and she had a £10 bin as well. So I can't remember. I got 2 out of the £5 bin and 2 out of the 10, I think. But I can't remember which was which. So that nice little one, a bigger sort of green one. So these aren't with mounts in. And then I got these 2. Oh, there you go. This one was £5. Actually, I think I might have got 3 out of £5 because I then got this. And this is the style, but bigger, that I need for me Quaker sisters. So I got them. £5. That's canny. That's proper canny, that. Canny good value. So I got that. What else have I got? I got this from 123 Stitch a few weeks ago. Forget Me Not Pinkeep. I got one of the new Laura Corbett patterns, the mushroom one. There's another 3, I think there's 4. But this is the only one I really liked. Maybe I'll get round to doing the others, but I got Sisters, Blackbird. I'm sure this has just been reprinted. I could be wrong, I'm not sure. It's got like, and I'm pretty sure I've seen our Carol Saltbox. She's done some of those. And I like this. I do like Rosewood Manor. And there's some options on the back as well. So yeah, I like that. Obviously, that's why I bought it. Funnily enough, I need to hang on to that. Then what did I get? I got these from Etsy. Little needle minders, and these are from Don't Step on Your Needle. I don't think you can say that. It's a mandala. I don't want to. Yeah, that might be a bit better. There you go. But it's just a small one. And I got, you know how I love me tea plates. So I got 2 new tea plates as well, and these are just little ones. And I got these from Don't Step On Your Needle as well. Then what did I get from Market? And Market is a very sore subject at the moment. A very sore subject. I ordered from 123 Stitch because I was curious to see how long it would take compared to, because I usually go with the UK companies, Peakside or Patchwork Rabbit, and I was curious to see how long it would take from 123 Stitch. The answer is a bloody long time, because I still don't have it. I pre-ordered it, and then they shipped it on the 4th. It didn't arrive, but I just thought, well, it's late, you know, because normally they're quite good. Normally here just over a week, 8, 9, 10 days. I don't think it's ever taken more than 10 days. I just thought it's taken a while. But then there was something that I ordered did arrive, but that was posted after the original order. So I got back in touch with them, and they said, oh, really sorry, it was put on, your order was put onto the wrong truck. But we'll reship it, but we'll do it free of charge. Like they were doing us a favour. What? Yes, you're going to do it free of charge? This isn't my fault. And then I got another email saying, we've shipped. Oh, that was it. But we've shipped. We haven't got this one in stock. And it was one that wasn't a Market piece that they didn't have in stock. And I says, that's fine. I can live without that one. Just send it when you've got it. Because you said you want your money back. Or so anyway, when I got the email to say, right, this is shipped, it told me all the things that hadn't been shipped that we're still waiting for. And half of them are the Market pieces. And I'm really, 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 really annoyed that they haven't said, oh, here's like a $5 credit or anything like that for your trouble. I mean, we're nearly a month on, and this is Market we're talking about. When you want your stuff, you want your stuff. So I'm a little bit, that's a lie, I'm a lot peeved. And that isn't the word I would use if I wasn't on Flosstube. So not impressed at all with 123 Stitch at the moment. But then we get into some gifts that were given to me and big birthday presents. So a very wonderful, wonderful, wonderful lady called Rhonda O'Neill got in touch with me. It was before Christmas, so it might have been end of November, beginning of December. I had been saying on my Flosstube that you can't get Brenda Gervais patterns over here. You just, now and again, they crop up, but very rare that you can get them. You certainly can't get sort of new releases. So she said, I'm more than happy to get some and send them over to you. So I was absolutely cock-a-hoop. That means over the moon, by the way. I was cock-a-hoop that I was going to get some Brenda Gervais patterns. It took a little while through no fault of Rhonda's own. It was just having to wait for things, and then having to wait for the order got sent, and then there was still a bit like 123 Stitch. There was still things that she was waiting for. Anyway, long story short, I got it, and I did record me opening it, which she had asked, and I cried. I cried lots because she had obviously sent the ones that I bought, but she had sent some more as gifts as well. And I was blown away, absolutely blown away. So the ones that I got that I ordered were When Pumpkins Glow, I got Needle and Thread or the hippie lady, as Kathy Lansbury calls her. She is so-and-so's. I got your sampler petites. I love this, at home. I love this, absolutely love this. And I love the verse on it. For genuine happiness we need not roam, 'tis doubtless found with little and at home. That's the story of my life. I got Jolly Happy Soul. I got O Tannenbaum. And I got, of course, The Maker and the Mender. Just cock a bloody hoop with myself. Massive, massive, massive. Oh, and I got this. Rejoice Evermore. I'm not a bird fan generally, but I like these and I love these. I love the border on this. Excuse me. Love it, love it, love it. And then she sent me some stuff as gifts. Prepare yourself. I cried. I really cried. She sent me a really lovely folder. It says Free Spirit on it. And it's funny actually because many years ago, a girl I did me nurse training with, she's my daughter's godmother. And she'd said to Courtney a few years, Courtney must have been a teenager. And I remember Courtney told me, she says, Auntie Alex says you're a free spirit. Yeah. So I put everything she sent me extra into a separate bag. She sent me a ton of DMC threads. And I love that they're all along the blues because I'm a blue girl. I am a blue girl. Not so much a green girl, but these are actually really nice ones and they will come in. Oh. She sent me a little cross stitch kit. This is to make a wooden ornament. And another little wooden ornament. There's 3 different designs that I could choose. I like the mountain one though. She sent me some Ada. She sent me a grey marble. (18 count). A 14 count. This is like a really light violet blue. It's really pretty. And a really lovely sage green as a 14 count as well. She also sent me some patterns. Bluebird out my window. I will do this and I will think of Rhonda every time I look at it. I know for a fact I will. And why I didn't order this myself I don't know, but I love fall most of all. I bloody love this. Really, 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 really love this. And some of these, I have been itching to get my hands on some of these. It's bonkers, isn't it? It's like the little things. It really is the little things. Love these. Love these. Love these. And the pièce de résistance. And mean, this is mainly why I cried, but it was just the kindness, you know, the light of winter. And this was because I was saying back in December when I'd started stitching on Winter Rose Manor again, that I would love the companion piece to it. I would love the light of winter. And that was when she got in touch with me and said, would you like me to order some stuff for you? And she gifted me this one. And she didn't just give me the pattern. She got me the fabric, which is Winter Brew by R&R. And I don't know whether you can get that in the UK. I've never seen it, but that doesn't mean you can't. And I will stitch it on the correct. And all the threads. Fancy flosses and DMCs. All the threads. I do not know what I did to deserve such wonderful people in my life, but I do know that I'm very, 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 very grateful for them. Speaking of gifts, I had a big birthday. And my stitchy friends, my UK stitchy friends. Just unreal, absolutely unreal. So there's Tan, who's the monogamous cross stitcher. There is Jess, who's cross stitching Jess, I think on Instagram. There's Kate, can't remember Kate's Instagram. I will find it and link it below. There is Rachel, Talking Dog Stitcher. There is Shelly, of course, who's my Northeast stitching girl. Who am I missing? Sophie. Soph. I hope I'm not missing anyone else. They all sent me some stuff up. Now, I can't remember exactly what came from who. I got some needle minders, which I should have shown you because they're already in projects. I got some floss drops with cats on them and a thread ring. This was off Shelly. I got a Jardin Privé. Chat Vapa Chat. I don't know what that means. No, chat is cat. But I don't know what Nipa means. I got this off Shelly as well, Lizzie Kate. And this says, cat lessons for people. Be persnickety, play with your food, appreciate wildlife, nap every day, don't bite, when a hiss will do, practice patience, listen before speaking. My favourite one, when you make a mess, bury it. Sit close to those you love. That was Lizzie Kate. I got a fibre on a whim, 36 count wheat. I got, no, this was off Tan, some opalescent fabric, which I've never stitched on, so I'm looking forward to this. And I'm fancying maybe looking for a Christmas pattern. That's what I'm thinking. Like a sparkly, Christmassy, snowy, maybe a snowy one. Here's one of the needle minders I got. And these are off Soph, I'm pretty sure, I think. And they all had little cats on there. They were all very similar to this, but they had little cats on, and I'm already using 2 of them. I also got, where have I put them? There they are, of Soph. Pony needles, coloured pony needles. I love me my pony needles, and weirdly I was looking for some from Amazon. I love particularly the 28 and the 26. And I've already broken into them because I needed one last night. So, yeah, Thank you, Sophie. And then I got some homemade bags, and Jess, cross stitch and Jess. Oh, and I got some threads. What about that? Got some threads as well. Now, it was this one, Cat Lovers. I was going to do my cats in colours of cats that I've had. And my very first cat, Sammy, was ginger and white. And I think this will be perfect to do a ginger cat. And then I got bandana, cashmere and huckleberry. Really lovely threads. And Jess, cross stitch Jess, made these bags. I love these. I love the angled zip. This is perfect. And one of her, I'm trying to think what measurements they are. This is 7 by 9. So perfect for a small project. It's the angled zip for me. I don't know why. I just absolutely love it. And a biggie. Oh, I also got these scissors and another cat needle minder, and a big project bag from Jess. These fabulous. And no, ladies and gents, she's not making them to sell. They will only be for her and for gifts, which I'm a bit disappointed. I mean, I'm not, because I've got one, but I would have had more. I just love the angled zips. I just think it's just something a little bit different, and it's been like quilted and everything. Really, really, really lovely. And then, off my favourite little tea leaf, Rachel, who's Talking Dog Stitcher. If you haven't watched my last Flosstube, was when we went to Nimble Thimble. One of these days I'll get it right. And I found Strawberry Fields, and she tried to 1/2 inch it. But we caught her. Rosie and me, we caught her. And luckily the following day, Create Nostalgia had a copy of Strawberry Fields, so we're going to stitch it together. Once Nessie Mitchell was done, I forgot to say that I was stitching that with Rachel. So she hasn't quite finished hers yet. But she then gifted me fabric and finishing and all the threads for Strawberry Fields. I am beyond blessed to have these people in my life. I don't know what those people did to deserve having me in their lives, but I am so, so, so grateful. So grateful. It really is. Beyond words. Okay. Right, I just have to grab the giveaway from last time. So we had the giveaway for, oh shoot, hang on, sorry. Sorry about that. I forgot I wanted to do another giveaway for this week, so I needed to grab the stuff I needed to give away. So thank you for those who've stuck with me to all this time. God knows how long this is going to be, because I've got it in a little chunk, so I don't know how long it'll add up to. Probably another feature length. So we had the giveaway for the last time, which was the Moonlight Garden, which was the giveaway. And let me just find the winner. I did it literally just before. I always do the picking the winner just before I do me next Flosstube to make sure that anybody that's, you know, watched it in the last few days also gets the opportunity to be in it. Anyway, so shut up, Sherrie, move on. Moonlight Garden, and the winner for this was Betsy Paints 2284, who said, I agree that stitched models do sell patterns, and I just can't wait to work on the garden. So that is Betsy Paints 2284. So if you can give me an email at justsewsherrie@gmail.com, I'll get that in the post to you. So well done, Betsy. Giveaway for this week. Now we are creeping up to 3,000 subscribers. So that'll be fun when we get there. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so, because the sooner we get there, the sooner we can have a pretty big, it will be a pretty big giveaway. 3,000. If I had 30, I would have been happy. But 3,000 of you, I mean, dear me, yous are all bonkers wanting to watch me, must be. So, yes, we will have a big giveaway when we get to 3,000. But for the moment, no, this isn't a fairly big giveaway. I've got some more fabric to give away. And this is, much like the last one, it is a fat quarter. So it's a big hunk of fabric. And it is, you can see, it's reasonably true there. It's a green mottle. And it is a, what does it say? Ancient scroll. But it is like green. I thought ancient scroll would have been more of a, like a beigey, parchmenty colour. But it's not, it's a green. Perfect for spring, I think. So there is that. And for this, we will have the word green. So G-R-E-E-N, green. It's been a bit of a green theme in this one. I don't know why, but it has. And we've got a double dipper. So last October, I think it was, a wonderful lady called Pauline Dutton, who runs Sobe Bags on Instagram, sent me, I ordered a project bag from her and she sent me one for a giveaway. Now the person, I gave them a reminder of the next giveaway to say who'd won. I did the who's won, and then I did the reminder 2 or 3 weeks later to say get in touch with me. This person still never got in touch with me. So, but by then we were into Christmas and I didn't really want, it just wasn't sort of appropriate for the time of year to redo the giveaway. So I just hung on to it. So it is a re-giveaway. And it is all leaves. It's got a lovely, and these are really lovely bags, really well made, and a good size. What size is it? 13 or 14, I would say, by inches. This is by 14. So lovely big project bag, with a really lovely sort of vintage mother of pearl button on. So we'll re-give this away, and this will be Leaf, L-E-A-F for Freddie. So green for the fabric and leaf. I'm pretty sure I know what your comments are going to say. But you do not have to make up a sentence to incorporate them. Feel free to just literally leave a comment saying garden or green or both. That's fine. I'm really not. It would be nice if you're a subscriber. Please like the video. Please share the video. Usual rules, don't say giveaway free, yada yada. And and you need to be over 18 so that I can ask for your address. And unfortunately for both of these, it will have to be the UK only. I think I'll get away with fabric. So fabric will be international, okay? So green for the fabric will be international. It will be too much money to post this internationally, so the bag will just be for the UK. So massive apologies to anybody who's not in the UK who wanted to enter. So UK, no, international. I'm going to have to chop these bits off as well. I don't know how it's got to. Yeah, that probably wasn't the best thing to do, Sherrie. Got my new scissors, haven't I? We'll cut them, not pull them, is what we'll do. That's better. Okay, so international for the fabric, but not for the bag. I said that as many times as I can. Okie dokie. Is that it? Other than forward plans. Now, my forward plans last time were to just stitch on what I want. And yet, weirdly, I went down it, I've got to get some stuff finished mode. So we'll see what next time brings. I'm not going to have any hard and fast rules. I would like to continue getting some things finished. I need to get some putty to finish that thistle house. That needs to be done. And I need to get my backside into charting colours for the cats on Cat Lovers and get that done. And I would like to get my Quaker Sisters finished as well, because then my Forget-Me-Not can take over as my main sort of Quaker stitch. And Sarah, we are going to do a stitch along on our 56 count. I knew it was in that drawer, it was just at the back. The 56 count that I did show you last time that I did buy at Stitch in London. I love this one. I love them both. We have decided to do Be Not a Dunce. And it's going to be along the theme of learning something new. So 56 count. I have no clue what the hell I was thinking agreeing to this. But I'm not going to be a dunce. I am going to try to learn something new. Keyword in that sentence is try. Progress, not perfection. So be not a dunce. We could do it as a sal if any of you would like to join along. Now, I'm not saying we definitely are, because none of you might want to do it. And I don't really know how to run a sal, so I'll have to do a little bit of being not a dunce and do some research. We've decided to start it on the 1st of April, April Fool's Day. I don't know whether it's April Fool's Day across the world. But for anybody who doesn't have an April Fool's Day in their country, basically it's any time before midday on the 1st of April is when you can play pranks on people. So yeah. We're going to do that on the 1st of April. Let me know if any of you are interested. My thoughts were the sal being along the lines of doing something new. So whether that's a new count of fabric maybe a new designer, but it would be something that challenges you, not just something new, something that is a new challenge. So maybe a bit like me, I hadn't done a sampler, so it would be a challenge to see if I could get through a sampler and enjoy it and finish it. I think that would still be a challenge for me. A sampler, a marking sampler is what I mean, not just a sampler. That would be quite nice. So something that gives you a challenge is my thoughts. But if it's going to be an us Sal, I'm happy to take your thoughts as well, because it's not just me and it's not just Sarah. So yeah, let me know. I will probably try and, in fact I won't, 23rd of March. I probably won't do a Flosstube before it starts. Therefore, I will put something out on Instagram if we are going to do a Sal. So I'm Justsewsherrie over on Instagram as well, if you want to follow me over there. Now this kind of goes in the line of, I remember my namesake, Sherrie, Colorado cross stitcher. She does the same for summer camp, where it was something new. I had to learn something new last year. So that's my thoughts. Other than that, that's me. You'll be pleased. So, final thoughts of today. With the thought of all the things I've been blessed with and all the friends that I've got in the Stitchy community, who are just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people. Final thought is from Maria Shriver, and it is, when the world is so complicated, the simple gift of friendship is within all our hands. Bye for now.